Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer, Dr. Wan Zawiyah, and to all who watch this video. We are from Group 1 for Global Food Safety Initiative class, and today we are like to take a few minutes of you so you will let know about what is it about good agriculture practice, GAP, in terms of crop commodities and Global Food Safety Initiative, GFSI. So, let's start. First of all, what is GAP? So, these good agriculture practice, GAP, are being introduced in the 1990s, which is it responsible as a systematic approach that used to apply available information during on-farm production, nutrition, high-quality food product, and much more. The GAP framework is used as a guide for assessing which activities and the result should be eco-friendly and socially appropriate at each point of the manufacturing process. GAP can preclude or control the use of non-compost manure, animals roaming, chemical product, quality of product storage areas, and quality of water use for irrigation. There was also other country that develops their prominent private sector standards for GAPs. One of them was EuroGAP. EuroGAP, also now known as Global GAP, which was an initiative that brought together in order to ensure that all agriculture products were safe to be eaten by humans. GAP also is used in other countries all around the world. In 2006, the Asian GAP was established with the aim to harmonize the existing national GAP standard and also serve as a role model for countries such as Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia without any national GAP scheme. Next, how about the GAP standard in other countries? Basically, GAP was implemented globally all around the world. The establishment of the World Trade Organization, WTO, led to the dismantling of barriers to the free flow of trade and opportunities for all countries to benefit from greater access to world markets. The member states that have a national GAP in place will work towards benchmarking against Asian GAP. Those member states which do not have a national GAP will adopt regular standard. Although they have the option of adopting on a modular basis in accordance with their national priorities, all of these activities are aimed at achieving Asian GAP equivalency of Asian GAP with other international GAP so that it may be recognized by WTO as an international trending standard. Good agriculture practice in terms of crop commodities specifically prescribed as generic code of practice that defines essential elements for agricultural producer to adopt GAP for sustainable crop production. Generally, different countries has their own GAP standard based on crop commodities. Their crop commodities was based on their standardization of GAP standard that they use in their country. So far, what do you think about GAPs? Is it interesting, right? Now, let's talk about the current issues regarding to food safety. The first issue is about Global Food Security Index in 2019. Agriculture is not as a contributing force to today's environmental crisis. It is also among the sectors more affected by rising temperature and extreme weather. With the right choices, innovation, and public commitments, agriculture could shift from being a major stress for environmental degradation to a leading force for improved climate change adaptation and mitigation. The relationship between food security and the environment is often framed as a trade-off, as increasing agricultural production frequently leads to rising emission, land stress, and resources exhaustion. Food security innovations are increasing from earth monitoring and imaging to generate early warning systems to the new form of food production. The 2019 edition of the Economics Intelligence Unit's Global Food Security Index, GFSI, now in its 8th year, track the performance of 113 countries in providing for the dietary needs of their population. The GFSI is a holistic measure of a country's food system taking into account. Did you wonder about the next current issues? It is entitled with worldwide contamination of food crops with mycotoxin, validity of the worldly site FAO estimate of 25%. The presented study provides a review of the occurrence of mycotoxin in grain from the literature with a focus on report of JECFA for GFSI. It has conducted extensive global review of the occurrence of known health-relevant and regulated mycotoxin. Based on the literature data, the global mycotoxin prevalence in food crops varies largely depending on many factors, such as the mycotoxin of concern, use analytical methods, and reporting of the result. But it appears that the prevalence for the detecting mycotoxin is up to 60 to 80%. Large occurrence data surveys on mycotoxin contamination in food crops with harmonized sampling strategies and analytical performance criteria across the world over several growing seasons should be conducted. Humans and animals are typically exposed to mycotoxin mixture which can induce combined adverse health effects. In conclusion, agricultural producers need to practice good agricultural practice, which is GAP. The Malaysian government has put an effort by establishing a Malaysian standard for good practices in agriculture. However, some guidelines in Malaysian standard need to be improved. As a result, there were 6 guidelines in good agriculture practice need to be improved to achieve a better quality of life. So, what do you think about the gap in our country? We hope you learned something new today. Thank you for lending us your time and wishing you a good day. Bye!